A dark triad is a term from psychology that comprises the personality traits of narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. They are called dark because of their malevolent qualities. Do these terms not best describe the members of the podcast known as the Weeaboo Club? Furthermore, even though their name is the Weeaboo Club, they consistently tell us it's the Weeb Club. The Weeb Club, they say, as if we don't know how to read their own name. Truly, the gaslighting and the manipulation of the fans has gone too far, to the point where podcast host Vindy on twitch.tv, and not YouTube because he doesn't make any videos, resorted to making a PowerPoint presentation which he made in response to one of the other members, WattheWut, allegedly assisting in creating a petition, which is really just a poll on strawpoll.com, to get Vindy kicked off the podcast. All the while, old man Craftsdwarf continues to egg this behavior on, insisting that it's not funny, yet insisting in private that it actually is. And of course, Nunmanji pretends to be the innocent party, yet secretly might be the most manipulative of them all. Contained within this expose are accounts of different individuals close to members of the Weeb Club with their own stories to tell. I pray that these help you understand just how manipulative the members of the Weeb Club are and why they must be stopped.
I remember this one time, I was hanging out with the Weeb Club members. I was nervous, and I'd been a huge fan since they started the podcast, and they were all big-name YouTubers, except for What, of course, but, I was excited, but that excitement turned to sorrow quickly. We decided to stop at the nearest Taco Bell for some food. It's Taco Bell, it's good, cheap food. I mean, what more is there to say about it? What didn't really want anything, since the mere sight of the Taco Bell repulsed him to no end. And Crafts had recently ate a $50 meal from Burger King, of course. He wanted to put some weight on his shriveled up old bones and body, but we all know how that went for him. It's a little known fact that the estrogen in the Impossible Whopper is what gives his beard so much life, and I don't know how to describe it. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous beard. I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to the point. Anyway, so I was looking over the menu. I didn't know what I want, so I was looking to pick. And then behind me, I hear Nun and Vindy snickering. They're laughing to themselves back there. So I look at them, and they tell me that they had forgotten their wallets, and asked if I could cover the cost of the food. Sure. I mean, we're all friends here, so I thought we were, at least. We got the food, and they told me that it wasn't the food that they ordered. So they weren't gonna eat it. It was up to me, all of the food. I was devastated. I wanted to share in the delicacy that Taco Bell had to offer. Yet my so-called friends, and Nun and Vindy, had manipulated me into purchasing them food that they didn't even want. I spent the rest of the day crying at the betrayal and the just absolute abhorrent behavior of the two. That's not where it ends, though. Crafts spent the rest of our time together telling me how good Hyper Agent Gridman was, that it was the best Toku show he's ever seen. I watched it, and let's just say he's a dirty, lying manipulator, and that is not a good show. This experience has traumatized me. I am absolutely disgusted with the way that these three individuals have behaved to one of their fans. They need to be stopped, and at all costs, they need to change their ways. It is absolute dark triad shit.
I can't believe you guys are letting the Weeb Club continue like this, okay? They are a bunch of fucking monsters, okay? Okay, just the other day, Vindy gaslit me. Twice. He gaslit me twice, okay? And Craftsdwarf, he writes fanfic about everyone behind their backs, okay? He meets someone, he says, "Hi, nice to meet you, me Craftsdwarf." And then he goes home and he types up weird shit about them on the interwebs. I can't believe it. Don't get me started on that fucker, what, okay? He takes all the figurines that you would want to buy online, he steals them from you, and he puts them in jars, and then he takes pictures of them and sends them to you and goes, "Haha, your favorite figure's in a jar now, how do you feel?" And I hate it. And Nunmanji, he doesn't talk.
Don't get me started about those three snakes. Ever since I was a member of that little league of idiots, they've been manipulating me to do terrible things. The most recent of their sins was convincing me to delete my YouTube channel and start a better life. That's probably not that bad. But they're still conniving snakes, I tell ya.
Alright, get ready. You better listen up because I am about to tell you the truth about Vindy and Craftsdwarf, okay? You may think they're nice, swell people, yeah? Well, think again. And this isn't some beef, this isn't drama, I have proof. You remember Anime Expo from a few years ago, right? The lines were super, super bad. People were dubbing it LineCon because it was taking forever to actually get inside the convention center in crazy hot weather. Naturally, everyone's just gonna assume it was some kind of mismanagement, miscommunication, right? No. I saw with my own two eyes, plain as day, Vindy and Craftsdwarf just handing out wads of cash to people in line, telling them to lead it around the convention center in fucking circles. And I don't even know where they got the money from, that's probably its own can of worms. But I guess they just wanted the whole convention all to themselves for a little while. Fucking sketchy if you ask me, completely has eroded all of my trust. Now that I think about it, I wonder if they also had something to do with that earthquake.
I'm WattheWut's Gardner, and here's my story of how the Weeb Club has manipulated and gaslit me over a decade. You may wonder how they did that without even the channels existing. It all started back in 2011. WattheWut and Nunmanji, the secret ringleaders of the Weeb Club, caught on to my existence, sending me Love Live memes and telling me all about shonen anime and how it all sucks and was trash, except for Bleach. They said it was all garbage. They shit on me, everything that I loved and cared about. At this point, Vindy was studying the ways you could call a black person the hard R without actually saying it, a skill he perfected by the time he was recruited into the Weeb Club. Craftsdwarf, he was the most infamous of the group. I would go out to parties and Craftsdwarf, 10 years younger and 10 years less boomer, would appear screaming at my friends, my family, and also my fucking pets. He kept saying something about Caesar was the best boy or something, and essentially the main character of some newer anime at the time called Fairy Tail. I don't know what he meant by that, to be honest. It was kind of fucking weird. My life was a living hell. Now, even in 2021, WattheWut says he does editing, but he really just hires Filipinos off of Fiverr to edit my videos. And he hates them. He hates Filipinos. He calls them Filipinos when they're not looking, man. It's terrible. God. On top of that, he even called my video about selling fucking trash and that the editing was garbage, even though I hired him to edit it. I only hired him to do my editing because he manipulated me into doing it. He said he'd get me to 100k subs. Nunmanji even said he'd drop a hot mixtape on SoundCloud with me too. I was so naive to believe them both. On top of that, Vindy sent his family to live in my floorboards. Now there's rat shit all over my house, especially in my pantry. It's very stocked most of the time. But now there's fucking rodents in it. And Craftsdwarf said if I let him borrow my limited edition $700 Shiro from No Game No Life figure, he play Minecraft with me. But now he's putting it off saying his PC can't run it. Who the fuck can't run Minecraft on their PC? It's complete bullshit.
If that all wasn't horrifying enough, the next testimony comes from an individual who would like to remain anonymous for fear of the dangers that the Weeb Club will place them in, having exposed their secrets.
So, I've been around the block. I've been following the members of the Weeb Club for 4 to 5 years before the actual Weeb Club was like a thing, or at least the Weeb Club as we know it now. And, around that time, I thought they were like just a well-meaning group. Some of them got into their little spats, like WattheWut's drama he had back in the day, or Craftsdwarf saying the end. But I thought they were like nice guys for the most part. Though there was this one time I went to Texas and I ran into Vindy in a parking lot and he got pretty aggressive on me. But I just figured he was having a bad day, maybe a little buzzed, happens to the best of us. But as time went on, I kind of realized that the Weeb Club is just really toxic and manipulative. I've noticed that they all take this kind of really snaky and like aggressive way of shaping their fans into being like them, just kind of making people toxic and upset and angry at each other and bicker and fight. It's kind of like they just want to make the world a worse place for everyone. And it's just a very clear trend across their content, especially when you watch those EWBs. You think they're so good and like, yeah, they're really getting in these YouTubers' grills. And then it's just like, when you step back, you just realize what they're doing there. And it's very apparent, and I won't be supporting them any longer.
Craftsdwarf is a terrible person because he made me keep reading Kinnikuman and Gintama for the Nen show, even though they're both objectively terrible, and this has caused irreparable damage to my mental health. My relationship with shonen manga will never be the same, and it's all Craftsdwarf's fault for keeping me locked in his basement to record podcasts with him. Also, Chiaki Nanami did nothing wrong, you monster. You terrible person. Also, WattheWut is holding me at gunpoint if I don't add this into the audio. The worst thing Crafts did, though, was give me the ability to turn into a bird. I don't know how this matters. I can change back whenever I want, but isn't that horrible?
For fuck's sake, no! You can't join Trash Taste! Leave me the fuck alone!
I don't know how that one got in there. Ignore that. If you want to stop the Weeb Club, please sign the petition below and vote yes, end the Weeb Club. If not, you're a racist and you must be stopped.